Just ahead on Midday, a scare at Palm Beach International Airport. We'll tell you what happened.
A somber 2-year anniversary in the Simpson murders.
The Jupiter Theater is granted a reprieve, but for how long?
We'll talk engagement rings with Tiffany & Company.
And what you should know when taking your car in for repairs. Attorney Mark Bogan has some tips.
Also, author Judy Ford with some interesting ideas about raising teenagers.
Midday on 5 is next.
You're watching News Channel 5, WPTV, West Palm Beach, Boca Raton, Fort Pierce. This is Midday on 5.
Today marks the 2-year anniversary in the deaths of O.J. Simpson's ex-wife and her friend Ron Goldman. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Midday on 5. I'm Kelly Dunn.
And I'm John Favoli. Thanks for joining us. Our top story this morning, it's been 2 years today since Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown Simpson were murdered. O.J. Simpson was tried and found not guilty of those murders, and now he must answer to the judge in a civil suit. Ron Goldman's sister, Kim, says her family will observe this day quietly and privately. But for the Goldmans, the past 2 years have been anything but quiet or private. NBC's Kelly O'Donnell has more on this somber anniversary.
This is where the Goldman family goes to escape the last 2 years. Back to memories of a happier time saved on videotape.
He was beautiful, charming, loving, caring, dedicated, and wanted nothing but the best for everyone he knew.
Here, Ron Goldman was celebrating at a family party.
I'm very glad that I was able to be here and spend this time with you, because God knows where I'll be in a year.
7 months later, the Goldmans' lives were shattered.
One-time Hall of Fame football star being led away by police for questioning.
And ever since then, the country has watched an ordinary family try to cope with an extraordinary and tragic twist of fate, a family consumed by grief.
I love my son dearly.
We're going to miss him a lot.
And we'll miss him.
And anger.
These last few days have pushed me to the edge.
Outrage.
This man is a disgrace to human beings. No.
And shock.
Not guilty of the crime of murder.
For the Goldmans, particularly Ron's younger sister Kim, the pain is just as sharp today as it was 2 years ago.
I just think about how much I miss him. He's still with me all the time, and it's very painful.
The defendant having been acquitted of...
Absolutely convinced the jury made a mistake, Kim Goldman says her family is ready to fight O.J. Simpson with their own trial.
He's a liar and he's a murderer, and no matter how much character and how much charm you may have, his lying and murdering tendencies will come through.
Kim says her family's lawsuit against Simpson is not about money, but is about righting a wrong.
The only reason that we're doing this is for justice, and it's just to hear those 12 people say that he's responsible.
The Goldman's lawyer, Daniel Petrocelli, says he feels a special burden to win the civil case, not just for his clients, but for anyone else who believes a guilty man walked free.
When you hear Kim and Patty and Fred talk about their feelings about wanting justice and fighting for Ron, this is what inspires us and motivates us and puts us on a mission to do whatever is humanly possible to give them the best possible result we can get from a court of law.
But suing O.J. Simpson for wrongful death won't be cheap. It will take millions of dollars. The Goldmans aren't rich, but they are receiving help from people across the country.
I want to tell people that we appreciate all the love and the support that still continues to come 2 years later.
In return, the Goldmans are supporting new laws to help future crime victims, including a law in California that would make certain hearsay evidence admissible.
Please help this bill pass. Thank you.
But for Kim, the greatest priority right now is fighting for a young man who was her best friend.
Ron and I made a bond and a deal with one another way back when that we would never do anything to let the other one down. And it's because of my love for him and because of his love for me and my family that we are able to get through each day. I think people need to remember that on June 12th and to not focus all their attention on the man that murdered them and got away with it, but to remember Ron and Nicole and the other people that lost their lives and to honor their memory in a positive way. And that's what we ask.
Kelly O'Donnell, NBC News, Los Angeles.
Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown Simpson will be remembered tonight at 2 candlelight vigils planned in Southern California.
The Unabomber suspect appears to be headed for trial in Sacramento. Theodore Kaczynski will likely move from his jail cell in Montana to Sacramento soon. Kaczynski has been charged with possessing bomb-making components, but has not been indicted or charged with any of the Unabomber bombings. Federal investigators say they have evidence linking Kaczynski to a series of bombings that killed 3 people and injured 23 over the past 18 years. 2 of the Unabomber victims were from Sacramento.
Marge Schott could be suspended for as long as 2 years unless she decides today to voluntarily give up day-to-day control of the Cincinnati Reds. Reports say baseball's ruling executive council is to speak by conference call today. The council met last Wednesday in Philadelphia and set a 1-week deadline for a decision from Schott. The Reds owner was given the option of voluntarily stepping aside. She has recently come under fire for favorable comments she made about Adolf Hitler.
The government has lost round 1 in a fight over indecency on the internet. This morning, 3 federal judges temporarily blocked enforcement of the new Communications Decency Act. That statute bans indecent or patently offensive words or images on the computer network. The judges say the internet deserves the highest protection from government intrusion. They say the government may not enforce the new law while the courts consider legal challenges to the measure. The Clinton administration has promised to appeal.
And President Clinton and passengers aboard Air Force One are nursing their bruises after a bumpy ride last night. Air Force One ran into severe turbulence over Texas, bouncing reporters and Secret Service agents out of their seats. One Secret Service agent cut his hand slightly. However, the president is fine, as you can see there. He was buckled in his seat, and after things calmed down, he emerged from his office to check on the crew. The plane landed safely in Charleston, South Carolina, where the president is speaking today.
He must not be prone to motion sickness. He didn't look too green or anything.
He looked fine, right.
I would have been like in the lavatory the entire time.
Checking things out, definitely.
Time now for a look at today's weather.
Let's check in now with meteorologist Glenn Moret. How are those clouds looking today?
For the most part, John and Kelly, it doesn't look too bad outside. In fact, we're seeing our fair share of sunshine here in West Palm Beach as we take a look outside on high 5, but still a whole bunch of instability in the upper levels of our atmosphere. We still expect some showers and thunderstorms, and some could be strong later on today. A look at the dual Doppler shows most of the rain is out in the waters. A little shower pushed on through West Palm Beach in the past 15 minutes. It is starting to dissipate, but down and through Broward County, some showers are popping up there. They're all headed towards the Palm Beaches and the Treasure Coast. A complete look at our forecast comes up in just a bit. As I said, it looks like still an unsettled afternoon for us today, but there is hope. As I said yesterday, I'll say it again today, by the end of the week, things clear out and it should be a pretty nice weekend.
We're going to hold you to it.
Well, I know you will.
Definitely. Thanks, Glenn. Still ahead, it can be a difficult time, the teenage years.
But what should parents know when it comes to communicating with their teen? Author Judy Ford has some answers next.
You're watching Midday on 5, this area's first and most complete midday report with Kelly Dunn, John Favoli, and First Warning Weather with meteorologist Glenn Moret. This is News Channel 5, coverage you can count on. Closed captioning of News Channel 5 is brought to you by aluminum roll-up shades and shutters.
Parents, if you thought the terrible twos were tough, get ready for the teen years. You parents who already have teenagers know exactly what we're talking about. Sometimes it's difficult to have a parent-teenager relationship. There's a new book that addresses this very important issue. It's called Wonderful Ways to Love a Teen, Even When It Seems Impossible. And the author of the book, Judy Ford, is here with us today. Hi, Judy.
Hi.
Do you speak from experience?
Well, I have a 17-year-old teen.
That's experience enough.
Yes. One day she came home from school and she said, I said, hello, Mom, how are you? And she says, just once, I wish I could come home from school and you wouldn't say, hi, Mom, how are you doing? She says, once I would like to come home to a little peace and quiet.
Oh.
So you see, and so the next day I went.
Did she think you were being a smart aleck?
I guess. And the next day I went to my room because I wanted to be responsive and caring when she came home. Mm-hmm. And so I shut my door and I was very quiet when she came home from school. And she said, as she ran through the house looking for me, she says, Mom, don't you care about me anymore? Because you didn't ask me about my day.
Talk about confusion.
So that is the way it is with teenagers.
Right.
It's not impossible, but it's confusing and challenging at times.
Right. How old was she when that happened?
She was about 14.
Yeah, so it's you know,
It
a
gets
couple
better.
of years into the teen years, so it's got to be a difficult process for parents to go from being the all-knowing, all-powerful, and the kids listening to them when they're young, from the younger years into the teen years, right?
Well, you know, when they're 7 and 8, they're writing us little love notes that we're pasting on the refrigerator, and then suddenly they turn 14 and they're rolling their eyes and sighing and don't want to be seen with us in public. So this is very difficult for
dramatic
parents.
for both sides, right?
Yes, because it's the struggle of letting go. You know, they want to be independent and have more control over their lives, and we want to keep them safe from everything. So it's a real challenge.
What are the parents doing who are bridging this communication generation gap?
You know, I do parenting seminars all over the country, and I bring parents and teenagers together. And one of the things that I find that most parents cannot do is they cannot even listen to their child for 1 minute.
Are you serious?
Very serious, without interrupting, offering advice, freaking out, criticizing. So I teach parents, if you want your teenager to talk to you, if you want to have a relationship, you have to open the lines of communication, which means that the parent has to stop talking and freaking out and lecturing and start listening. So you have to practice listening for 1 solid minute before you interrupt, and your teens will start talking to you more. If you don't ask questions, because teenagers do not like questions such as, where did you go? What are you doing? What happened? Did you get your homework done?
That's understandable, but a parent, it's hard as a parent just to stop.
It's very difficult. But
you're nosy.
Well, parents ask why a lot, and why is a question of torture for a teenager.
Okay, so the main thing that parents need to do is communicate, listen, don't ask so many questions.
Communication is 2 things. It's listening, and then you can ask the questions that invite response, which are such things as, really? What are you going to do next?
It's tough to get a teen to open up, though. Is that the way to do it?
Yeah, If you stop talking and you ask the listening questions, which are things like, what happened next?
What does that do in the psyche of a teen that makes them want to open up when you say,
It shows that you're interested, it shows that you're paying attention, and it shows that you're not taking over. Teenagers want you to be involved in their life without taking over, and that's the balancing act that a parent of a teenager has to find, that middle ground. How do you show your teen that you're interested without running the show?
And teens do want parental love.
Teens all over the country tell me that you can really tell the difference between parents who are interested and involved in their children's life versus the kids whose parents are not interested. They want you there, but they don't want you to run the show.
Right. Gotta love them, though. The book is called Wonderful Ways to Love a Teen, Even When It Seems Impossible by Judy Ford. There's a toll-free number on your screen to call if you'd like to order the book or some catalogs from her other books, to order her other books as well. It's 1-800-685-9595. And the other one is Wonderful Ways to Love a Child, right? The previous book.
Thanks.
So this is sort of a follow-up.
Yes, thanks.
All right. Thank you a lot, Judy. We have a lot to learn.
Thank you.
Okay, we're back with Glenn and the weather right after this.
Wedding disasters.
Oh my God, Shawty, your hair's on fire. And we got there, all you can see was this yellow crime tape around the church.
Things they'd rather forget.
When I bent over, a huge snot dropped.
That you'll have to see to believe.
We have it on videotape, audience.
So Judy Tenuta helps us give them a wedding to remember.
We're gonna do the wedding polka!
On Jenny Jones.
Wednesday at 3 on News Channel 5. Still to come, your exclusive first warning forecast. Glenn Moray has earned the seal of approval of the American Meteorological Society.
You know, I saw a little bit of sunshine out there today, but, you know, for about that much time, but it was the sun.
Yeah, and we're seeing sun again right now. In fact, for the past 30 minutes, for the most part, we've seen our fair share of sunshine here in West Palm Beach, but there's still a whole bunch of clouds out there, still a lot of instability in the upper levels of the atmosphere. Thus, rain chances still great for this afternoon. And we did have some water spouts spotted out in the waters this morning. We had a special marine warning from Boynton Beach to Key Largo until 10 a.m. That has expired. But there was activity, especially out in the waters, and we do expect more on land as the afternoon moves along. Right now, we'll take a look at our Doppler radar using StormScan. And yes, there are showers out in the Atlantic. Little isolated shower there in north central Broward County. Up around Hobe Sound, we also see a little renegade shower. That's about it. Treasure Coast looking pretty good at the moment. Let's go outside on High 5 and check things out on the Intracoast. Yeah, we're seeing some sunshine right now. Not a whole bunch, but at least a little bit. Conditions outside, the temperature right now is at 82. Southeast winds at 9, humidity at 79%. It's kind of muggy out there. Barometer 30.08 and on the rise. The forecast for this afternoon, showers and thunderstorms expected, especially later on in the afternoon. Highs for the most part, upper 80s, east-southeast winds right around 10 miles an hour, but expect the gusty winds, of course, right around those thunderstorms. Here's a look at the southeast satellite picture. That tropical disturbance is starting to break up now, but still it's injected enough moisture and clouds into our upper levels that, yes, we still expect the rain showers later on today. High pressure is building now in through the panhandle. This will be the dominant weather feature, especially late Thursday through the weekend. We expect this bad boy to hang around the southeast and be the giver of plenty of sunshine down here in South Florida. Well, to our north, still dealing with a low pressure system in through the Tennessee River and Ohio River valleys. They're still seeing the showers and thunderstorms, especially now from West Virginia down in through the south. You can see parts of Mississippi and Georgia and Alabama seeing the shower and thunderstorm activity. Out west, for the most part, high pressure still in control out there, so things still staying quite warm, especially in the desert southwest. Yesterday in Phoenix, they were at 108 degrees. Right now, they're at 88, 83 for Las Vegas. Looking towards the east, 70 degrees, plenty of sunshine in Chicago. Should be a great day there. 71 for Cincinnati. Down in Atlanta, they're at 83 degrees. On the beach today, we go to Boca. Green flags, calm seas, mild sea lice, but hey, no sea lice is mild when you get it, right? Hot and muggy is what's going on down there. Very, very humid things as far as beach conditions are concerned. Here's a look at those highs today. Around the Great Lakes region into the Ohio Valley, highs for the most part into the 70s. That low pressure system around there, they're going to see the rain there throughout the day and tomorrow as well as the low slowly moves towards the north and east. 80s in the south, some 90s up around the Panhandle, desert southwest and through Texas. Again, 90s and 100-degree temperatures, especially in through Phoenix, parts of Yuma, Arizona, south central Arizona for the 10th consecutive day, temperatures topping 105 degrees. Let's go to our forecast now for the boaters. Scattered showers, some thunderstorms, seas 2 to 3 feet. Inland waters will have a moderate chop. There's a look at your tides and sun. Sunset at 8:14, and your forecast, the clouds will build as the day moves along. Showers and thunderstorms, and some could be strong. Trust me on this, friends. Highs between 85 and 89. Cloudy, a few lingering showers, a couple of thunderstorms overnight tonight. Lows between 72 and 77. Tomorrow, still unsettled. Some scattered showers once again tomorrow. The rain chance goes down a bit. Nevertheless, I still think we'll see our fair share of rain. Highs upper 80s. And the 5-day shows us by Friday, things do really start clearing out. We'll have more sun than clouds by Friday. In fact, that'll be the weather through the weekend with a rain chance of only 30% Friday through Sunday. So things do get better by the end of the week, just in time for the weekend. So overall, the scenario plays out pretty well for us, but expect a little storminess today and tomorrow, especially later on this afternoon.
All right, we'll do it.
Thanks for the warning. Still ahead today, can you remember the last time you got your car back from the repair shop and the bill was less than you expected?
I know it happens, but probably not too often. Before you let them check under the hood, you'd better check in with attorney Mark Bogan. He's next with the legal rights of car repairs.
You're watching Midday on 5.
Here's something most of us can relate to: car repairs and the dent they put in our wallets. Now, we want to make sure you know your legal rights when it comes to fixing your car. So we call on our legally speaking attorney friend, Mark Bogan, to give us a test drive. Hi, Mark.
How you doing, John?
I bet your office gets inundated with these types of phone calls, right?
Well, we get a lot of questions on what can we do to protect ourselves from that repair shop that tries to take your money when it belongs in your pocket.
That's not nice. Okay, let's take a look at our first question. The viewer writes, I had a problem with my car and brought it in for an estimate. The repair shop tried to charge me for providing an estimate. Is this legal? I know it happens all the time.
Typical situation, right. John, you bring your car in, there's something wrong with it, right? And you want to find out how much does the car cost. So you find when you get the estimate back, they say it's going to cost $300, $400, whatever it is. And you don't want to have your car repaired. You want to take your car away. The shop owner tells you, by the way, John, it's going to cost you another $50, $100 because we had to look at your car. We had to determine how much your car
had to put it on the scope.
Exactly, had to put it on the rack.
I've heard that.
And Florida law requires two things to occur if they're going to charge you for an estimate. First, they have to disclose, John, we're going to charge you to look at your car. Second, you have to sign off on it and put it in writing. If those two things don't occur, you can't be charged for an estimate.
Okay, that's if it's over 50 bucks.
No, 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 no. This has to do just with the estimate.
Oh, just with the estimate.
If you're going to get an estimate for your car and how much it's going to cost, they have to disclose to you that we're going to charge you for the estimate, and they have to, and you have to sign off on it.
Got to be open about it.
Right.
All right, good. Okay. Now let's move on to our next question. I brought my car in to be repaired, and the bill was $200 more than what I was told. Imagine that. Is there anything I can do? Talk about your sticker shock.
Surprise, right?
Yeah,
Surprise.
what a shocker.
Two things, again, have to happen under Florida law. Anytime you bring a car in to get repaired and the repair is over $50, the first thing that has to happen is they have to give you a written estimate of all the work and the costs. Okay, so when you walk out of that shop after you've dropped your car off, you better have something in writing saying what all the work is and what the costs will be. Second thing is you have to sign off on it. If you don't sign off on it, the car repair shop's going to have a little trouble billing you for the work because you're required to sign off on everything that's supposed to be done.
So if you're going to have something done, make sure your signature's on it.
Exactly.
All right, let's take a look now at our last question. I recently purchased a new car and have many problems with it. Does the lemon law apply?
Okay, John, for the lemon law to apply, three things have to happen.
All right.
First, it has to occur within the first 18 months or 24,000 miles of when you buy your car. Okay, so if it's the 17th month, you're in luck. If it's the 19th month, you're out of luck. Second, it applies if an authorized agent is unable to fix the defect after 3 attempts. There has to be at least 3 attempts with the same problem, not with different problems, but with the same problem.
And they give you a little printout on that, I'm sure.
Exactly.
Okay.
And third is, if you don't have 3 attempts, if your car is out of service for 15 days or more, that will also qualify you. If you qualify for any of these points, you can get your money back or you can get a new car, either one. And if you want more information, you can call 1-800-321-LEMON.
Lemon, okay, 321-LEMON, a toll-free call for you, okay. Does that only apply to new cars, not used cars?
Only to new cars.
New cars, all right, good enough. And if you have a legal question for Mark, you can write to him at Legally Speaking in care of WPTV, P.O. Box 510, Palm Beach 33480. All right, thank you, Mark. We'll see you next time.
Great.
Good advice as always.
Thank you, John.
Kelly.
Still ahead on Midday on 5, a scare for some airline passengers at Palm Beach International this morning. We'll tell you what happened coming up in a live report. The Jupiter Theater may be getting a second chance at survival. We'll tell you about the latest reprieve. The president heads to South Carolina to visit one of 30 black churches gutted by fire. We'll have details on these stories and much more when Midday on 5 continues.